Well, Joy Vila, a few weeks ago, went from being a popular star who was on the charts to being #1 on Billboard Rock above the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Metallica right now have new albums out, and #12 on the overall Billboard 200. And I got to say, she is the MAGA Monroe, Make America Great Again. She's got that Marilyn Monroe figure. I really like it. I will say that right now. I like to dress, obviously. I guess I'm a married man. I can't say that, but there we go. Make America Great Again. She is the MAGA Monroe. One of the crew members just thought of that. Matt did, so we should tweet that out, that the MAGA Monroe, Joy Vila, is on with us right now. Joy, VILLA.com, joyvila.com, Twitter, Joy_VILLA. And wow, I'm glad that Nika was able to get her on with us, because not only did I end up listening to her music and like it, love it, my daughters, I guess, had already been hearing about it about a week after she went public, saying that how dare her support Donald Trump that wants to make America great again and actually cut taxes on the middle class and the stock market be up by $2 trillion and all these other great things happening. And, of course, he says he's at war with the fake news. And then they said, oh, he's at war with the news. No, he said fake news. So it's just amazing to see people stand up to the bullying. I was told that it was a legal immigrant in the United States from the Philippines that made the dress. So we're going to learn all about it here. And I tell you, it's great to have you with us via Skype. Feels like you're right here in the room with us, which is really fun. And what an amazing smile you've got to top off all that talent, Joy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Alex. I love that. You said MAGA Marilyn Monroe. What did you say?
It's Make America Great Again Monroe. So MAGA Monroe. We need to tweet that out, or just say the Trump Monroe. I mean, just whatever. Let's start. We're going to tweet it right now and say she's live with us. Tune in. But absolutely, you are the modern Marilyn Monroe.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been an amazing week. It's really been amazing.
Well, I said the Monroe thing is you have the classic, looks of a lady. They try to like run that out in this whole culture. It's all part of this cultural dominance to get rid of the image of women, get rid of the image of men. We're not against any other groups out there. It seems to be a war against just Americana like Donald Trump. Tell us about your music, where it is right now, and what the whole story, the backstory of how you did this there at the Grammys and how big it's become.
Absolutely. Well, I want to say something you said about the image. I mean, as a strong feminine female, I really believe that you can be strong and you can be feminine at the same time. It's not that one cancels out the other.
Bingo.
Yeah. I mean, you can be sexy. You can look great.
They don't want women to use the strength of being sexy.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. And
there's nothing wrong with it.
The power. So yeah, about that. And then my music has just exploded, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I became the #1 rock and alternative album this week. Outsold some of my favorite bands, Red Hot Chili Peppers and Metallica. #12, I have a stepdaughter who's 13. She's kind of pissed that I beat out Justin Bieber. But and it's just been amazing. My music has always been about love, freedom, for standing up for what you believe in, about being a spiritual being that can conquer all and accomplish great things. And that's always been my message since I became an artist. So my album, I Make the Static, being there it's really shown me that, what you do as a creator will speak to other people. You just keep creating and standing for what you believe in. And the fans will see that and appreciate it. I think everybody wants to appreciate someone that they can look up to. I know when I was a kid, I looked up to role models. I bought music from people that I admired, not just sonically and artistically, but also as a person.
Well, I always talk about, if you look at old black and white photos, I don't care if the people are white, black, what they are, people have electricity in their eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Nowadays, if somebody's trying to look like that in Hollywood, it's more of an arrogance comes out. Instead, you have that old-fashioned fire in your eyes, but it's not arrogant. It's more loving and like you're happy and excited and want to interface with humanity. And I talk a lot about what's in the eyes. It's like Tony Montana says in that famous movie. It's a fictional account of real things that happen. He says, the eyes, Chico, they never lie. And it's in the eyes. And so I think people resonate. You were already popular. You're already successful. But now you've exploded to #1 in rock, #12 in Billboard, #1 in a bunch of other countries around the world. Obviously on your way to be #1 probably, period. All because of that moment challenging the status quo. I mean, I know you got some threats. I know you got attacked. Let's talk about the process. Who made the dress? how you decided to do it, and then the good, the bad, and the ugly that's happened since.
Okay. I've been to the Grammys. I'm a member of the Recording Academy. So I was at the Grammys 2 years ago, and I worked with the same artist, Andre Soriano. He always makes my dresses. I'm his muse. He's my partner in crime. And he is a legal Filipino immigrant. He voted for Trump, and he happens to be gay as well. So he's definitely not what people would think is a Trump supporter, what they think, quote unquote.
Actually, I mean, Trump's always been, he was doing articles in The Advocate 25 years ago for people's freedom.
Exactly, exactly. He's always stood by his beliefs. And so Andre called me, it was after the Women's March, and Andre said, you know what? This is not right, this narrative of hate. And I said, you're right. Someone saying they want to bomb the White House, saying that, Trump is a Nazi and that we need to make a change and we need to get him out, we need to impeach him. And it's just hate messages. It's straight up hate, violence, inciting violence. And people are listening to celebrities. People are listening to those women and men who have that platform. And if you're going to say, I'm going to hate the president, that is not a message you want to share to millions of people. It's fine to say, I don't agree, but to say, let's get him out with violence. So Andre was crying, and he told me about it. And I was overseas, actually. I was in Denmark. And I said, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was going on. This was so bad. And so I looked it up, of course, and I said, okay, this has got to change. So he said, this is my idea. It was Andre's idea. And I said, of course, I voted for President Trump secretly. I publicly voted, but I have never been able to tweet that or rejoice.
Sure, because they will absolutely ban you. It's admitted in Hollywood and also in music. It's a cult.
It really has gotten, sickening. It's like totally bullying. It's absolute bullying. And that's why my platform is like, stop the bullying, stop the hate. Let's change the narrative to love and peace, because we can all agree on that. No matter where you fall in the political spectrum, you have to believe that bullying somebody for supporting the president of the United States when you're in that country, even if you're not in that country, is wrong. I would never bully someone who supports their president from another country. But somehow, yeah, we have riots, we have people who are inciting violence. And this just sends the message that we're divided, we're divisive.
Well, exactly. When I was like 5 years old watching PBS with my mom, she had a TV in the kitchen. She'd cook dinner while she'd watch TV. And I saw footage from decades before of black people trying to vote or march being beaten up in Alabama. I felt guilt and bad just for humanity and hated it. Well, when I see footage of people being beaten up just because they're Trump supporters or women being raped, in Europe, by radical Islamists, I feel the same way. Let's do something. I don't care what color you are. We're all human beings. And it just seems like the left has kind of gone crazy. Because I was never left-wing or right-wing. I didn't really like George Bush. But now the left, it seems like it's gone really nuts.
It's become so extreme. Extremism in anything is wrong, because extremism means I'm right and I refuse to look at the other side. I refuse to do the research. I refuse to have a conversation. And then now you're getting into this zone where you're blocking your friends who believe the opposite of you do. You're only watching tweets and TV shows and YouTube videos that support your belief. Now you don't have the full 360 view. You only have that one view. And I feel like as a millennial myself, I'm 25 years old, and people my age, it's so easy to only follow people we agree with and not see the other end. So that's why it's so important not just to listen to the news, not just to tweet out the things your friends are saying, but to really, really do the research and ask around and actually find out for yourself.
Well, that's right. We only got about 5-6 minutes left. I appreciate your time. We'll come back more when you have more music coming out or new things that are developing. But you're somebody that took the plunge, I guess you already said this, but in your own words, correct me if I'm wrong, you took the plunge. What were you thinking before you did it? And then boom, it made you 20 times bigger. This is just for me an example of my own life, getting fired from jobs, having sponsors taken. We just had a bunch of stuff happen this week. But every time we don't submit to the intimidation, it resonates with other people of every color, every religion, of every creed, and we just come together. And it seems like I can feel the spirit. President Trump, I know, feels it. I've talked about it with him personally, rising. And it's really a liberal spirit. And by liberal, I mean classical human empowerment.
Yes. Oh, I love that, Alex. Human empowerment. That's what this is. It's human empowerment, because free speech, speaking up for what you believe in, is a human right. It's actually a human rights issue here. When you're bullying somebody, you're telling them to shut up because I don't agree with you. So the other end is coming up. And I mentioned a little bit about the hate I received. I received a huge backlash. Like, people attacked me of, different colors of they attacked my religion. They attacked how I believe. They attacked everything. They've gone in deep on my tweets. They attacked my husband and my stepkids. And it's really gotten ugly. But that's a small voice compared to the people, like you said, who are rising up. And there really is a rise up. for love, support, and human understanding. And that's what it is. Ultimately, the people like us who are in the spotlight have to speak up for what we believe, and other people see that, they get encouraged, and they follow suit.
I've got to ask you, because I know Trump reaches out to hundreds of people a day. I've never seen energy like it. Have you been reached out to by Trump or by the family? Because, I mean, obviously you're an icon.
Not yet. I haven't yet. I hope so. I hope to get an invitation to go perform.
Well, if I get contacted by any of their folks, you want me to, give them your number?
Sure, absolutely, you can do that.
Because I know I mean, Trump calls a lot of people, like a cop, gets killed, he calls the widow. If somebody's doing a great job, there's a homeless lady standing up, when people are attacking her, Trump behind the scenes, does amazing things. I mean, he really is all about individual connections to people, and I'm just surprised they haven't talked to you yet, because I'm telling you, you're like a hydrogen bomb for this nationalist movement. And again, not that nations are perfect, but we're better than global corporations running everything in secret. And it's this reemergence of cultures and freedom. And the media is saying it's very evil that Trump thinks we should actually try to have jobs for America. I mean, that's crazy.
That is crazy, because that's what America stands on, is jobs, is freedom, is exactly what the president is preaching. He's acting on what he was preaching before when he campaigned, and now as he's elected office. So he's not saying anything different he hasn't said for like 30 years. He does want to make America great again.
Joy Vila, joyvila.com on Twitter. Then let me go back to this then, because, I mean, describe it. When did you make the decision? Just run through it. What was your heart beating? I mean, when you made the decision, when you get there, when you uncloak. I mean, I've seen a lot of people on Hollywood and at the Grammys, the Emmys, walk the walk, show their dresses. I'm not kidding. This was the most electricity, the most excited, no matter how beautiful the woman was. Scarlett Johansson didn't matter. This was like the best ever. I mean, it was just so sexy. It was so cool. What was it like? Describe it.
It was exciting. I mean, my heart was beating, when I wore my cloak, the white cloak that Andre Soriano designed for me, and I had my heart clutch, and my heart was beating big time, because people were like, oh, is there anything under that? Can I see under the dress? And I was like, no, you'll see. I have a reveal. I'd be a little bit cheeky with the press up there. And then when I got on the stage, on the red carpet, like the step and repeat that you see, I took it off, and they cheered. Actually, there was probably 100 photographers there, and they were cheering.
See?
And I was so excited.
Because they felt the electricity, and someone saying, I'm not bullied. Beautiful woman, beautiful dress. I'm not bullied. It's finally the reemergence of art. Art is supposed to piss some people off.
That's right. That's right. It's supposed to elicit, some sort of reaction. And, speaking of art, I just dropped my remix album, I Make the Static. And that's like dance, feel good tunes for workout, for, just really good empowerment. And it's called the Static Remixes. So people can start buying that now. And, if they want to push me back to the charts, or, whatever they want to do, but I'm here for the people, and I love making music.
That's right. So. Today, you're like #1 on rock and #12 on Billboard. I guess you've gone higher some days on other charts. Let me ask you this then in closing. I mean, where do you go from here? Because obviously you're an example of so many others to get past the bullying. This is what scares the system. The Republicans are horrible. So are the Democrats. I mean, people need to understand. Trump, at his inauguration, went after both of them. They keep trying to make it partisan. I mean, people need to understand. I've studied the facts. Trump is really trying to empower people. But just look at the example of how hundreds of photographers are there, I would guess. You're there on the main walk. They're cheering because they get it, something different. It's something cool. Yes. They know they're going to be able to sell this photo for a lot. They're all bullied, too. I mean, I can't tell me how many people come around from Hollywood, top producers, you name it. I mean, people that have made, in the last couple of years, $200 million, worth of productions, HBO, you name it. And they go, Alex, most of us are awake. We're not conservatives. We're not liberals. We're just Americana, like Kirk Russell had the will to say it. He's like, most of us are just these Americana people. We want freedom. We're sick of it, but the Democrats try to dominate us, and it's a cult, and if we speak out, we get fired or we get shut down. So the thing is, that's a big hallmark, a big, tombstone for the elite, a signpost that they're already dead. People are just scared to say no, so all that's left is the facade now.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of people, like you said, who actually believe the way we do in preserving American rights and preserving American culture, in being, a cultural beacon for everybody, because we're America, and we can be proud to say, like, I remember when I was a kid, even like 10 years ago, it used to be okay to say I'm proud to be American. And then I feel like, as I got older, it's like, it's almost a shameful thing. Like, American is a slang for bad.
Glenn Beck came out today and said it was scary that Bannon, the chief advisor to Trump, said that we should have economic nationalism and help Americans. They said it's the worst thing ever. So now they're banning American flags in California at schools. And Glenn Beck says it's horrible and scary that Trump wants to promote America. I mean, since when?
Yeah. I can't believe it. Yeah, we really have to change that narrative and just be like positive and keep standing up. That's like you and your show, Alex. You know, Infowars is such a great show, and just being like proud to be American, proud to be the other side, telling the other side of the story, because people will research, even young people. You know, we're all researching. We have the internet now, so we can believe the other side rather than just believing what somebody tells us to believe.
She's the MM, the MAGA Monroe. We can figure out something even better. We'll hashtag that, send it out. Again, #1 Billboard Rock album right now. #1, number 12 globally, all music. Joy Vila, again, taken to the next level. Your courage is there. And as the British Special Forces say, fortune favors the bold, and our fortune is liberty and freedom and an open society that's truly, truly free. Thank you so much. Look forward to speaking to you.
Absolutely. You too, Alex. Bye. God bless.
God bless you. That lady's got a really fiery soul. You can see it burning. And again, people are losing that. Because I wasn't even so much looking at the dress or her curves. I looked at those second. But it was the smile, the eyes, all of it. Most women now that are beautiful, they try to look arrogant and it looks evil and they're trying to look all powerful. No, it's not that. It's that openness and that just goodness and that strength. It's like 1,000 times better than women trying to creep around. And men do it too. They're trying to walk around acting tough all day. And you know, most of them, once it gets the rubber meets the road, they're not ready to cash those checks. But it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. Infowars is ready to take action. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You going to sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you going to be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action.